I now will now hear Her Excellency Rania Al-Mashat, the Minister of International Cooperation of Egypt, in a virtual talk.
Thank you very much, Chair. And also, I would like to commend my colleagues, His Excellency Minister Ali Al-Kuwairi, and also Minister Dan Jorgensen. Both of you have mentioned and highlighted a lot of the realities we are facing. But let me say, go back to the beginning of the decade, the beginning of 2020, when we had 10 years to achieve the SDGs. However, we were hit by more than one crisis, which are pushing us further back. And the development finance that is available does not meet or even address the many targets that have increased. We have more people in poverty. We have more who are facing the climate impact, but nonetheless, we are still short when it comes to a very important concept, which is the just financing. Many developing countries still need more. We just heard from the chair, the debt burden is increasing. And in a very recent paper that was mentioned more than once during the spring meetings in Washington by Larry Summers and Professor Singh, that there are capital flows outside of the developing countries into developed countries. And therefore, this increases the burden of trying to move, or increases the challenge of trying to achieve the different SDG goals. Another very important aspect, and this was again highlighted during the spring meetings, the need for the IDA replenishment. When we take a look at climate finance, we find that less than 15% globally goes to the LDCs, those who need and are most vulnerable to the different impacts, be it climate, pandemic, or also food security and water security. Therefore, there is much more that needs to be done to meet this disparity. We have several opportunities coming up, particularly the Conference for the Future, which is coming up in September of next year. But also there needs to be more shouldering between the MDBs. We saw and we witnessed in Washington more coordination that was provided between World Bank and many others when it comes to different investment guarantees and also more collaboration in terms of streamlining processes. But still, that needs to be seen in action and moved forward. Another important aspect is related to more on South-South and regional coordination and also lessons learned. And I'm sitting here in Aswan, and let me mention the Aswan Forum, which Egypt had initiated to try and create more synergies and more of the knowledge exchange between countries, particularly those in the South. In going forward, the finance for development is extremely important, and we need to move forward in order to be able to meet these increasing disparities. Climate finance should not only look into mitigation, but also adaptation is key. And as was mentioned by both colleagues, it is not just the private money that will do it or the MDB money that will do it, private sector as well. And therefore, we need to find ways to be able to increase the de-risking mechanisms to crowd in private sector investments against a backdrop of a lot of risk, which is increasing on developed and emerging economies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency.